Hello Hello，大家都可以听到吗？Hello Test Test，大家都可以听到吗？OK，谢谢皮爸。不好意思，今天的链接好像有点错，所以可能大家会找不到入口，我再帮忙协调一下。Maggie，我这边可以让您帮忙当那个 co-host 吗？
可以。
好的，谢谢。Hello Hello，
有听到哦，有听到。
OK，好的，实在是不好意思。
Hello，各位晚安。
大家应该花了一段时间才能找到入口。
哦，对啊，是花一点时间。那个
什么共笔变的啊？
共笔什么意思？
共笔的那个结构好像 Andrew 调了一下，就是、对，等一下我可以分享屏幕让大家。
是哦，共笔我是有去调整啊，因为我把那个记录的部分把它移动到另外一个共笔的另开一篇，就是专门就收藏记录这样子，不然的话整个那个活动共笔会变得太肥。
是的，可能这样子，我就一开始我就找好久。
我也是找了一段时间。
可以看一下好不好？因为就是非常抱歉，
可以啊，可以啊，
没有造成大家的问题，不好意思。因为我一直上次有提到是这个共笔有面临几个问题，第一个就是那个就是新手好像就是比较不容易进来。这也就看懂这个文章结构。
分享我的荧幕，大家可以看得到吗？
好 ，OK 啊，那就这个防疫办学活动这个先点开来看。
好的。
哦。这里，
对我刚刚有
对啊，因为我
把下面的都
我一开始就是这样的情况，因为我已经把这一页设成我的最爱了，所以我既然
也是
为什么会变成这样子？这个就不是我改的啊。
就是我看应该是 Andrew， 因为我看到他把它就是又拆分成了很多个小的不同的 HackMD 的文档。
哦，这边它分成这个以后主要是这个是 Andrew 弄的哦。
比如说我们要去看今天已排定的分享的话，就要点这里。
对，点这是OK。
对。然后
因为我昨天看的时候，这边那个还没有 icon， 它就是黑猫的分享这样子。那我们以后就以那个入口为准了，对啊。
就大概就是过一下流程啊。
对啊，我觉得这样分比较好啦，因为就是一直也在一边想一边调。我又不敢调太大，我就只有把那个记录那一区把它分享到这边有个文件叫做2021年办办学活动记录，我就把那个活动记录都分到这篇来，所以在那个什么办办学共笔入口那边应该有整理出来一个连结，然后可以连到那边。
对，这是所有的往期活动。大家觉得这样的调整会就是比较好，就是看起来会比较 怎么说，就结构化一些嘛，比较有逻辑性嘛。就是
对啊，是我是个人比较喜欢这样，就是以后就是从那个半办学那个共笔入口那边进来，看起来就是这样子。不，就上次那个另外一个部分，
就是有 emoji 的这个。
对对对对，入口共笔入口这样子，从这里，
然后点这个。
对啊，这样我觉得这样蛮好的。
但我觉得这样不是很好因为我很讨厌它贴到另外一个画面去。
哦，是哦，哇，
就是
因为
如果它可以用，如果它可以用缩下，就是展开，在当个页面展开的方式。
你都是用下拉收纳这样的部分。
对，或者是说，因为那个，我觉得规划中的活动可能是最重要的，或者是说那个规划中的活动就不要再展开，不要再到另外一页去了。
是。
现在规划中的，
可是规划中的东西
不是，我讲错了，是以排定的活动。
以排定的
活动，
以排定的，我们就把它分在 OK 啊，不然我们稍微快速讨论一下这个文件的结构有哪些是放在那个页面里面，哪些是要独立再分开来的。因为我之前也后来我们的活动越办越多的时候，我们就那个累积起来那个记录的内容其实还蛮恐怖的，一进来就一大串
放在一篇文件里面是显得很长，但是对，我们现在可以一起讨论一下怎么样分成一篇小的。
我是觉得那个琵琶刚才建议蛮好的啦，因为这个入口共笔入口又太过于精简，那它如果像比如说有关于办学的说明啊，就是一进来就看到一个短文在描述这件事情，我也觉得蛮好的。所以
我觉得琵琶的 idea 还不错啊，就用展开的方式。
可是我们这个黑 KMD 有展开的模式。
我刚才在想这件事，黑 KMD
有展开的模式，那个要看一下那个，我想一下，
好像叫 spoiler。
我们原来的那一页，对，原来那一页曾经有人用过。
那个谁，今天这个活动谁开的？因为顺杰有跟我讲说那个活动
对
有问题，连结有问题。
我先开直播好，然后我把活动连接贴出来。
对啊，有些人进不来。
大家给我一点点时间。
现在是直播吗？还不是，现在是那个。
还没直播。
是录影而已。
怎么了？发生什么事？没什么事吧？
没事。
对啊。
好了，应该是可以开直播了。希望大家可以在直播找到新的入口。然后与此同时，我们可以回来。刚刚就是琵琶有说那个就是用这个 spoiler 可以。
OK， 是耶，不错。有这种语法，真的不错。
那个 details 是那个 tag 可以换吗？
可以啊，他就是把那个名字换掉就好了。
OK， 太好了。
可以。
这字有点小。它可以加粗吗？不是，我是说那个 spoiler 的那个 title。它不行。可以变大
对啊，它要加那个星号，加那个星号。
对，它
还是加井字号。
井字号应该不行吧？这个语法应该是没有办法镶嵌，对。只能用那个加粗。
等号可能可以等号，让它有点颜色。
等一下哈。
不行。不行。
哦，不行。这边好像也没有办法这样去改动。那就是如果大家有什么好的建议的话，就可以后续再提出来，然后我们看怎么样再重新整理一下这个我们共笔的这个表单，不是表单，这个 HackMD。那现在先开始活动嘛，反正已经开始直播了，我们就先调回英文吧。
对啊，调英文。今天就是来练听力的，糟糕，对我来说。
糟糕，我也是第一次当英文的主持。
我也惨。
Okay, good evening, everyone. So welcome to the economy events tonight. And tonight we are going to invite our new community member. Her name is Yahui. Actually, she is one of my colleagues from Realtech, and she has have some ideas about what is economy, and she's very interested in what we are doing. That's why I have invited her to our event and do an English sharing about Singapore's culture. Before the event starts, I would like to introduce, I would like to do an opening in English and tell us and tell everyone about what is economy. Yes. So here is the introduction of what is economy. So actually, due to the COVID-19 pandemic around the world, our learning patterns are forced to change. This word economy consists of This word economy consists of the word of a company and academy. We hope that through our online community, everyone who wants to learn will have fun and not be alone. We use Zoom and Facebook as community platform. We also have a Discord server, and HackMD will be our collaborative writing platform. So for our principle, it's a community that learns together. So it doesn't matter if you are an expert or it's the willingness that make you a popular guide. We try not to use teaching, but use guidance or sharing. And this is not an online course. So we use a guide to core people who share knowledge, which is our mentor today, Yahui. Please don't feel pressure about sharing. You don't need to be very fully prepared. You only need to have a beginning, and many experts in this community will share various knowledge with you. Okay, so I need to give the time to Yahui, and let's have a warm welcome to her. Maybe you can open your mic and have a applause to welcome our Yahui.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. This live session is just a relaxed session. It's not talking. It's not about some teaching you something. It's just sharing my experience in Singapore. You can just relax and listen. If you don't want to listen, it's okay. Okay. I will share you some pictures, some videos. You just relax and enjoy. Okay. Okay, I have been in Singapore for 10+ years. And when I first arrived in Singapore, it's in 2011 January. It's winter in my hometown. So in my hometown, I'm living in the north part of China, the mainland China. So there the winter degree is below 0 degree. That time when I arrived at Singapore, suddenly I feel very hot and humidity there because the weather, the season changed very big. Actually, when I first time arrived there, I feel like I don't have much experience, much knowledge about Singapore. I thought there was a lot of mosquitoes because it's summer. In my hometown, there's a lot of mosquitoes there. So I bring a lot of liquid spray. And I imagine there's everything in Singapore will be very expensive. So I have two very big luggage suits. The teacher picked me at the airport, very surprised. He said, "Wow, do you move your whole house here?" Yes. And he drove me on the highway, but I feel like I'm already in the city. I know Singapore is very small, but I don't know how small it is. I really don't have any big picture of Singapore. Really, really very blank in my head, even in my brain. I feel like what is Singapore? I only know it's the equatorial of the Earth. It will be very hot for me, for my whole life maybe. So when I arrived here, I found it actually Singapore is very clean and beautiful. And next one, I want to talk about some interesting and unique things I feel like in Singapore. Okay, maybe we have a video about Singapore. This is the travel guide from Expedia. It's very short. You just relax and enjoy it. Can you hear us from the video?
No.
No.
Okay, but for me, I don't know how to share the voice. Can anyone help?
Yeah, well, maybe you can use your speaker.
Okay.
Oh, we still cannot hear you. Hello, Yahui.
Still no voice?
Yes, we cannot hear you.
Okay, there's share sound option. I try this one. Okay, no? Is it okay?
Not really. It's a bit noisy from your side.
Okay.
Maybe you can just mute this video and you can tell us what is this video about, so that we don't need to no need to hear the voice from this video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resources that vastly different ethnic groups could succeed. It has on an unimaginable scale.
If you can hear the voice, maybe just listen my introduction.
Yet, despite blossoming into one of the great global cities, Singapore is a nation that's
Yeah, I think you need to mute yourself first, because the quality of this video, I think, is not so good. Maybe just mute this video. Yeah, okay.
Okay. This is a Chinatown in Singapore. You can see a lot of Chinese restaurants. and this very famous temple. I think this is a Little India and some Malay temple. There.
Yahui, can you please just put the video's link in this chat box? This is someone is requesting this in the chat room.
Okay.
Maybe you can share the link.
Okay. This is the video link I'm playing now. If you are interested, maybe you can you can watch at your side. I don't know. There's a technical problem. I'm very sorry.
Don't need to apologize. You can just continue your sharing.
Okay. I think this is the highest mountain in Singapore. It's called Bukit Timah Mountain. And this is the zoo.
Who took this picture? It's by yours.
Sorry?
I mean, who took the picture you show us? Who took the picture?
Okay.
Are you photographer?
Yeah, this video is from the Expedia website. It's a very official video.
Someone in the chat room is asking, is there anyone on the street now, or is quite empty? So from my side, currently, since we are under the COVID restrictions, the government doesn't allow a lot of people to go on the street. So therefore, now it's quite empty.
Yeah, but from now, if you're fully vaccinated, we can dine in the restaurant. So maybe there will be more persons there, and in September, maybe Singapore will open its borders. If you want to travel there, you can follow the news from Singapore government. You can start our seasons in Singapore. It's from onwards. And the long bar, the Singapore is very. You come here and in your level.
Yahui, I think your side the network connection is not so good. 就是声音音质听起来卡卡的。对，看一下是不是网络的问题。我们先切换回中文说一下，对，可能有技术问题。大家都听得清楚吗？
一开始行，现在不行。
雅慧要不要再测试一下麦克
？OK， 可以听到吗？
可以耶。奇怪，可能是网速的问题吧。
OK， we finish this video. Finally finish. Okay. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is the coffee. You can see the coffee in Singapore. We don't call it coffee. We call it coffee. You see the difference? It's very interesting. If you go to the local food court when you order coffee, you need to see the very unique name. For example, if you like coffee, you need to call it coffee or 口送. And for me, I will choose a coffee with sugar and milk. It's a coffee C 燒奶. So my favorite one is coffee C 燒奶. What is your favorite coffee? Do you see the name there in the chat box? Can anyone?
So I can elaborate more on this part. So actually, people in Singapore says coffee as kopi, K-O-P-I. Maybe it's from Hokkien or other dialects. And O here means that it's pure coffee without any milk. So O means like a zero. So it looks like a zero, so which means like it's a pure coffee. It doesn't add in any milk with it. And you can see from the third column here, the coffee C means evaporated milk. And the fourth column, coffee means that it has condensed milk. So that's why we can categorize the coffee into three parts, which is coffee O, coffee C, and coffee. And for the sugar level, we have no sugar, which is kosong. Kosong, I also don't know what is this dialect from, but it means no sugar. And xiu dai means 少甜. Yeah, also a dialect. And ga dai means 加糖, 加甜. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, and anything else?
Yeah, we also yeah. If you like milk tea, you can call it day, T-E-H. Yeah, I think the Chinese tea, pure Chinese tea, also very interesting. It's called fishing, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, O means black. Yes, Shimon have mentioned in the chat box that O means Wu means black. So coffee O means just black coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the clarifications. Okay, and from the photo on the bottom right set, you can see that it's a traditional Nanyang breakfast set. We have two half-boiled egg. What do I mean by half-boiled? Which is not it's not a solid one. It's like a liquid type of egg, and you will pour it into a small plate and add in some black soy sauce and pepper to drink the egg. Yeah. And on the left side, you can see that there are some toast. So most of the time we are adding some butter and kaya sauce, kaya sauce inside. Yes. And on the right side is a drink. On the drink, you can choose either it's coffee or tea, which is either coffee.
Hey, Zhuqi, I'm curious that when you just be in Singapore, do you feel that your English is not so good? Because there are a lot of special terms, like very like or like Malaysia words or also in Indian words there.
Yes, of course. From what I have experienced when I first come to Singapore, actually the language using in this country is combined with some traditional Chinese, some Mandarin, some dialects, which means some Hokkien or 闽南语要怎么说？闽南话。
福州话。
福州话，对，就是很多地方的方言 combine 在一起。Besides, it also have some dialects from Malaysia, like Malay or Indian. So that's why all the different languages combine together. Sometimes I feel that actually in the first place, I feel it's very difficult to understand what people are talking about, even including my lectures, my school lectures. It took me around half a year to 1 year to get used to the language environment here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
also
Hui and Simon will also feel the same thing as me, or maybe different.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. When I first time come here, I feel like what I don't remember. I can't understand English. but now it's okay. Even my tongue is in English. Oh no, yes. And just now, Ruchi talking about the kaya sauce. Kaya sauce is also very unique sauce in Singapore, I think. It's made of egg and coconut. Only in the Singapore, Malaysian, I think maybe only there have the kaya sauce. And the Milo is a chocolate drink. And if I'm not wrong, Milo is also very unique in Singapore. And there's also a very interesting drink called dinosaur. Dinosaur is hot chocolate or cold chocolate with a lot of chocolate powders. So it's called dinosaur. If you're talking about the drinking and the names of the drinks is interesting. And next one I want to talk about, this is my favorite coffee, the coffee seafood. Next one I want to talk about the Singapore food. I know it's the most things you are looking forward in this session maybe. If you are not hungry, let's continue. Hainan chicken rice. Hainan chicken rice is the rice is very unique. It's made of the chicken soup, so the rice is flavored. But the most thing I like Hainan chicken rice is the chili sauce. Every time I add a lot of chili sauce. The most famous one is the chili crab. Chili crab, of course, is expensive. The most expensive thing among all the local dishes. Let's see the second one, satay. Satay is a grilled meat. Even pork, chicken, beef, you can choose there. There's a food court called Lao Basa at the CBD area of Singapore. Every night they close the street. They don't let the car pass the street. They put all the tables there, and you can see a lot of persons will order the satay, and there they just drink and eating on the street. It's for me, it's a unique thing for Singapore because it's in the CBD area. The bagude is actual pork. Sometimes it's made of black pepper. Sometimes it's made of some Chinese. It will add some Chinese medicine. If you don't like the Chinese medicine, if you don't like the bagude, the flavor of bagude. The rojak is more interesting. The rojak, the sauce very smelly. Even some local Singaporeans, they don't like the rojak. But for me, I like the rojak. If you like urine, maybe you like rojak. Okay, nasi lemak. Nasi lemak is actually the Malay food. My favorite one is biryani. Biryani mutton is also biryani. Is talking about the rice. The rice is also flavored rice. They add some spices. Also, I don't know how they cook it. But if you come here, you try the nasi lemak. You can order the biryani and mutton. The curry mutton. Curry mutton is my favorite one. Okay, kaya toast. Just now we talked about roti, and the roti prata is Indian food. It's the most famous Indian food. I think maybe everyone know already. For me, I'm very like this because I from the north part of China. In that part, we eat a lot of pancake like this roti prata. We add curry. The flavor is very good, really. And the laksa. Laksa is some noodles made of you will add some seafood in the laksa. I cannot describe the flavor, but for me, it's okay lah. It's okay. If you come here, you must try. This is a must try Singapore food. Actually, here I also have a video talking about the Singapore food, but since we don't have songs, we can see it's short. I'm sorry tonight have some technical problem. This is the laksa. Just now we talk about. Chili crab. Oh, the fish head curry is also very famous in Singapore. I don't know how you feel, but I feel very hungry now. This is a satay we talked about just now. And durian, of course. Now is the durian seasons. Talking about the dessert, there's also chendol. Chendol one is also very unique in Singapore. Roti prata. You can add eggs or other things in it. Good. The dark sauce. Hainan chicken rice. I don't know if it's really from Hainan or not. Maybe in Hainan we also have Hainan chicken rice. It's okay if you want to have some questions.
The Grab driver tell me that Hainan chicken rice is from Malaysia.
Okay, so in Hainan, we don't have Hainan chicken rice. This is some traditional dessert.
What's this? What's this?
Just now it's a traditional dessert. It's some sweet or salty. Yeah, sweet or salty with rice. Carry path. Next time you travel here, you can try all these things. Yeah, this is the breakfast set. Just now we talk about. This is a half-boiled egg. Add the dark soy sauce, the carrot cake. Actually, there's also an oyster egg. I like the oyster egg very much. Ice cream, yes. They put ice cream in the bread. Mochi is just okay for me. Biryani. Just now we talk about the nasi lemak. I recommend you this biryani. Yeah, nasi lemak. You must try the curry mutton. It's really, really, really good if you like spicy food. Yeah, oyster omelette. There's a food court at Newton in Newton MRT near Orchard Road. The oyster omelets there very famous. 肉炸. If you don't like smelly sauce, you can skip this one. This is the end of this video. Okay. Okay, just now I know someone query about the Singlish. You know it's made of dialect talking, some Malay, Indian language, and let's have some details about how Singlish is. You can see it's some words like la, lo. When I say kala, I mean yes. Kanla means yes, of course. Kanlo, yes, I think so. Kanna, kanha, are you sure? This kanho, are you certain? Kanme, are you certain? Kanbo, can not. Can confirm. Yeah. If you if someone asks you something, can you do something? You don't need to answer the yes or no. You just say can, or cannot. Or do you have something? You just say I have, or don't have. No need to yes or no. Yeah, can hor. Like this one very interesting. Kan la, maybe kan liao. Yeah. Like kan liao.
This English is the left can now, or these words will use in the text or only use in the speaking?
This
in both speaking and text.
Yes.
It all used in both too in Singapore.
Text don't mean textbook. It's when you text the message to your friends.
I mean
yes.
the message, the send the text. Is
yes,
that?
yes.
Yes,
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
The last one, 看了啦, okay enough. Do you remember this? Maybe we can we see next chat box. I don't have la. Yeah, I really don't have. When you hear I don't have law, yeah, for some reason I don't have it. This one, I don't have law. Yeah, I wish I had it, but sadly I don't have. I don't. Yeah, I don't have the. I used to have it, but I don't anymore. If you hear I don't have ha, yeah, I remember you that I don't have it. Okay. Interesting. I don't have my, you think I don't have it? If someone asks you, do you have a maybe like do you have a handphone? You say I don't have my. You think I don't have it? It's something like this. Actually, here I have a short quiz. That's no way still say a lot of English. Maybe I give you some times and you look through the quiz. Can anyone give me some answers? The first one, I can't believe they did that. A, B, C, D, which one do you think? Maybe you can type in the chat box or just say it. Yeah, it sounds like Thai language. A, I can't believe they did that lah. I can't believe they did that law. And second one, really? She got to see that? The second one is easy. Because there's only one words you will only one word means you don't leave me meh? Really meh? She got see that? And the third one is not good word. If you want to know it, you just search on Google. Actually, I really don't have the
I remember
answer.
some of Malaysia YouTubers said Lada law
Yeah.
is from Malaysia.
Yes, and meh also from
It's
Malaysia.
not from Singapore.
Yes, because there's a lot of Malaysian people living in Singapore, so they mix the Malaysian language and the English. So we have this la, lo, meh here. For me, I also don't know the correct answers. Next time you travel to here, you travel to Singapore, you just can find out yourself. Okay.
Oh. Beautiful country.
Yeah, there's one guy say Singaporean will say everything bad from Malaysia.
Yes, this is a hidden truth. Yes.
True. True啦。Okay, let's continue my journey. When I come to Singapore, I actually studied my A-level here in a private school. The private school is called Dimensions International College. Actually, they have many more education levels, like from primary school to your O-level to your A-level. And some foreigners just come here to learn English. But there's no permanent teachers. It's all temporary teachers. Some part-times or some teachers retire from government schools. So you can imagine the results, the education results at this school is bad. So most of my classmates, they cannot get a very good result. They move to some other universities in other countries, like in England or Australia or Canada, even Canada. But for me, when I see my results, it's still okay. So I try to apply for the local university in Singapore. As you all know, the Singapore University is the NUS, the National University of Singapore, is really famous in Asia. So as I wish I get the offer from US and study there for my 4 years for my degree, get my degree. After my graduation from university, of course, I just choose to work here because I take the tuition grant from government. The tuition grant is actually very good. The government will pay you like 13% of your school fee. You just need to stay here for 3 years. After 3 years, you don't need to pay back the money. That is most things from our government. The most good things from our government. Okay, I want to take a very short break and let Zhu Qi talking about the Simlim Square and the Simlim Tower. Okay.
Okay. So I bet that most of the people here are having the electronic background. So maybe you are more interested in the shopping centers that in Singapore where we are going to buy the electronic components. So from the picture on the left, you can see the colorful building is Simlim Tower. Actually, the building is very old. And within the building, you can see that there are many different levels. So most of the electronic components is like a small components are selling in this building. And from the picture on the right, it is Simlim Square. Actually, Simlim Square is mostly selling the products, electronic products, something like 3C 产品，对，就是卖一些电子的那个产品嘛，对。所以左边的那栋楼是卖元件的，然后右边那栋楼是卖电子产品的。Yeah, this is only 2 buildings that we have in Singapore, so you can see that it's quite limited. So most of the time during my school time, if I want to do some projects, I need to order from online platform such as DigiKey or Mosa or Element 14 or even Taobao. Yeah, that's all for my sharing for the Simlim Square and Simlim Tower. I'll pass the mic to Yahui again.
Yes, for me, actually, in my school time, I go to this place for several times to buy some components for my school project. If I'm not wrong, in the travel blog from Chicho, they talk about this. And if you know JJ, he's a Singaporean. He really looks like this. He very like this place because if you computer components or something, you also need to come to. If I remember, there's also one more building called Funan. It's also very famous for computer components. Okay, let's see next things. Yes. Just now I say after I graduate from university, I choose to work here for 3 years. During the 3 years, because based on the government laws, if I work here for half a year, I can apply for the green card. It's a permanent resident. So after my half years of working here, I just apply for the green card and wait for around, I think around 5 months and get this card. But this PR is only 5 years. That means after 5 years, I need to renew. And if during 5 years, if most of the time I'm not in Singapore, the government may not renew. So it's not like other countries, the green card is forever. It's for Singapore, it's only 5 years. Yes. When you apart from PR, there's also some categories of the working pass based on the salary range. Yes. If you get lower salaries around 2,000 2,000 Singapore dollars, you will hold work permit, WP. If your salary is above 2,000 to maybe now it's 4,005 maybe. Around this range, you will get SP. If above that single salary range, you will get EP. So for me, this is very, it's not friendly for foreigners because they will tell your salary range based on the pass you are holding. It's not a friendly things. But when you get PR, it's all the same. They can't tell your salary range. Okay, but another good thing you get PR is you have your CPF account, same like Singaporean. And the most interesting for your CPF account is the ordinary account, because you will use that money to buy house. Okay. After I get my PR, the next thing you are interested in is driving. I will say driving in Singapore is very, very expensive. You can see my picture. I put.
You buy the house from government or by people?
Okay. Next page, I will talk about the housings in Singapore. The government house or private property. For me, the private property is really, really expensive for me. So since I get PR, I can choose the government property. It's much more cheaper than the private property. But they have some conditions. If you are PR, you must holding the PR for at least 3 years, and you must get married. Then two of you, I mean your couple, you can apply for the government property. Even for Singaporeans, they must get married first, then apply for the government property. Otherwise, you must choose to buy the condominium, the private property. Okay. For car is also because Singapore is really, really, really small. We can't hold many cars on the road. It will be very will be a lot of traffic jam. So they have something called COE. I can share you the website. The cost of getting a car in Singapore. Of course, it's based on the car type you are looking forward. The tax, okay, COE is before you get a car, you must bid for this COE. CBID is you will know it's more than the market price. The price can be very high if there's a lot of persons want to have cars. This knowledge. I think this website I can share in the chat box if you like. If you are interested in buying cars in Singapore. It's all same for Singaporeans, for PRs, for foreigners. If you buy a car, there's no difference. Only for house, there's a difference. This why is it so expensive to own a car in Singapore? Because Singapore is really physically small. Yes. For me, I just got my driving license, but I didn't learn here. If you learn driving license here in Singapore, it will cost you 3,000 to 4,000 Singapore dollars. For me, I get my driving license in my hometown in China, then converted in Singapore. It's a good thing because when you convert your driving license here, you will get a permanent driving license. And you can use this one to drive in other English-speaking countries like England, I think Australia, the other English-speaking countries. You don't need to transfer your local driving license. Okay. Yeah, you have any questions? Just now someone asking about the house here. Here I want to talk about HDB or condominium. HDB of course is a government house. This HDB is very famous and at CBD area of Singapore. Every time you come to CBD, you will see this as a landed mark. Let's see some articles. The housing types in Singapore. The public housing, just now I talk about is the HDB. It's from the government and the price is really low, but it has conditions. You must be Singaporean or PR and you must get married first. The birth rate in Singapore also very low. Talking about this, I want to mention. So the government really have many benefits for you if you get married and having children. If you having the first children, I think you can get 10,000 Singapore dollars. The second one, another 10,000 or even 20,000. I'm not sure, but if you're having more children, you will get more benefits from government. They give you cash to pay your tax. That means you and your husband, your couple, you and your husband or your wife, you don't need to pay tax for many years. And for the HDB, the biggest one will be 5-room flat. And the 3-generation flat. For this one, interesting. It means if you stay with your parents, with your children, that means there will be a lot of persons in together. Government will give you a very big payment. That's very interesting. It's still many people live together. Sorry. I think this.
We cannot hear.
Can you hear me now? It's better.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. The public hybrid is easy. I think talk about easy is government like a condominium. It's like a private property, but it's built up by the government. Of course, the price is much higher than the HDB, but still very low than the condominium. Yeah. Private housing, no, the condominiums, the most popular most popular types. Even the foreigners can buy, but the difference is, if you are Singaporean, you don't need to pay tax. Oh, if you are PR, you need to pay 5% of the whole price for the tax. But if you are foreigners, you need to pay 20% tax. I mean, if your house property is 100,000, if you are foreigner, you need to pay 20,000 more money for the house price. I think I can understand Singapore is really small. They can't allow foreigners to buy a house. So the locals, they don't have their own properties. And another type is landed property. Landed property sometimes is it's very expensive, of course. And I don't know the English name. It means some house you buy it for 99 years, some house you buy it for 70 years, like that. But for the landed property, some of them if you buy this house and the land is forever for your own. That kind of type. Yes. Okay. Let's go back. Actually, I have a video from the National Geographic, but since I don't have sound, let's just watch. If you want to know more about the Singapore studies or Singapore Singapore details, you can contact. This is my line. Now let's just look at some videos. Let me fix the sound sharing problem. Do you have some questions you want to ask more?
My question is, what's your major and why did you choose to work at Realtek?
Okay. Actually, my major in my university is it's computer engineering. It's a combine of programming and the electrical studies. So my major actually is to programming something for the hardwares. In my team, actually my team is just fix what I study in my university life. I do a lot of projects based on the Realtek Amoeba board. Of course, it's not at that time. It's not use Amoeba board. I use Arduino and the Raspberry Pi. But when I apply for this job, I say, wow, this team is doing Amoeba board. Maybe it's a better board than Arduino and Amoeba. It's my opinion. Maybe you don't agree with me. So, wow, I think it's fit for me. So I just apply for this job. And I see there's some part of marketing promotion. It's also fit for my interest. Yeah.
Okay.
Realtek is famous company in Taiwan. Every time I open my computer, Realtek will be there.
Sorry, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Some connection in the hole. You know, like other roommates. At night they all at home, so the network is always very poor.
Maybe the connection overseas have some problem.
Yeah. I think it's because of the video streaming. It's taking too much bandwidth.
Okay, maybe you can stop the streaming and we can try. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe can pause the video. Yes.
Or we can stop the screen sharing and maybe the voice will be better.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you have a plan to move another country to work?
For me, now, actually, I'm also thinking about moving to other countries. At the beginning, I want to take my master degree at other countries like some Europe countries or America or Australia even. But last year, something happened, the COVID-19. So I need to stay at one place and finish my study. Of course, for me, the first choice is Singapore or China because I'm from China. But if I come back to China to study my master degree, it will cost me 3 full-time years. That's not a good choice. So okay, I choose Singapore and apply for the master degree and stay here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes, even for me, because just now I talking about the tuition grant from government, it's only 3 years to pay back the money. So for me, I'm here working here for 5 years already. That means the bond from the government is already paid back already.
Okay, so you are free now.
Yeah, I'm free. I have the freedom to choose my place. And for us, when I grew up, when we become old, around 30 years old, we will think about families, right? So we will think about family. We will think about where should we stay. For now, maybe I don't have much choice. Maybe if I study here for 2 years for my master degree, maybe I will stay here forever. Otherwise, my husband, our family, we will move together to another countries. It's not a easy decision. Yeah.
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 So, do you think how about the IC design company in Singapore because the IC design is very famous and popular in Taiwan, but I don't know this type of company in Singapore.
Yes, talking about this, I know Zhu Qi, are you still here? I think you're from the biggest one, Micron.
Oh no. Micron is not the design company.
Yeah.
It's wafer design. Actually, Micron is design the wafer. It's one step before you create IC. Am I right? Am I right, Shinjin? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I said Micron is more like the factory to design and produce the memory, but maybe I missed the MediaTek or Realtek, this type of design company.
Oh, okay. Also, Shimon have mentioned about a global foundry. Actually, it's a similar company to Micron, which is also a wafer manufacturing company. And Shimon also mentioned Infineon. It's a German company that's doing IC design, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Global Foundry is also very famous in Singapore. A lot of my classmates, after graduation, they go to Global Foundry and Micron.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Huawei, yes, Huawei also have a branch in Singapore now.
Okay. Oh, so many students still choose the Global Foundry in Singapore.
Yes, because Micron, the Global Foundry, they really have a lot of fabs in Singapore. They are still expand their fabs, so they need a lot of graduations from university. Yeah.
Oh, this part is very similar in Taiwan.
And also the salary not bad.
uh,
I must say.
yeah, also in Taiwan.
Yeah.
We have TSMC.
So it's a natural thing. We choose this kind of companies.
Okay. So it's IC design from company, famous in Singapore. Or
IC design. Yes, IC design. Because in the university for the electrical engineering major, there will be a lot of persons. The most students, the most department, the department will have the most students in Singapore is the electrical engineering. That means there is a very high demand.
okay.
Yeah.
Because electrical engineering in Taiwan will have maybe they will have a different type or study the different things.
Oh.
Like the electrical engineering will study like the IC design or the semiconductor physical, or for programming, or for electronic power, or for the electronic power system, something like this in Taiwan.
Okay. Singapore. I can say now the computing department is very, very popular. But before this one is electrical engineering. A lot of foreigners like us, we choose electrical engineering.
Okay.
They really sometimes it's around above 100, 200, 300 like that. Kind of many persons. Yes.
So the study of the electronic engineering in Singapore is they study like IC design, or they can choose to study like a semiconductor physics, or programming, or something like computer science.
For me, I choose computer engineering. I can choose my pathway in my third year, I think.
Okay.
For Zhu Qi, how about you?
Okay. Actually,
Children playing. About
yeah.
Yes. Joe, did you want to say anything?
your Zhuqi's life. I say now this time is your.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, for me, my background in university is electrical engineering, which is more related with electronic components and circuit design and some other sort of things. Besides, we also have some programming classes, which is learning C or assembly language or.
Verilog?
Yeah. Pardon?
What?
Did you say anything, Shunji?
Verilog.
No, I didn't choose that path because in our third year, we need to choose some specialization. So within the specialization, there are microelectronic, networking, and I forgot. There are around 4 to 5 different specializations. So if you are choosing micro E, then you will learn very low or some related skills. Yeah. For me, I was choosing communication.
So this is very similar in Taiwan.
Maybe you can share more about Taiwan education path.
What are you saying, Jushi? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I say that maybe you can share some more information about Taiwan's education path.
Education class, but my major is okay. What?
Yeah, it's like different specializations and how you can choose which specialization you want to study?
Specialization, but my major is mechanical engineering. but in Taiwan we have some choose way, like in mechanical engineering we will choose like the working as a semiconductor industry, or the we call the traditional mechanical industry to pay for the mechanical engineering. Oh, what? So do you mean I will explain the mechanical engineering, or you want to listen about the technical industry in Taiwan?
Maybe more about mechanical engineering first, because among the engineering schools in Singapore, mechanical engineering and aerospace engineering are also very popular choices for students in Singapore.
Okay. The mechanical engineering in Taiwan now, yeah, as I just said, there's two main paths. One is go to the semiconductor, or we call the technical industry in Taiwan. So the main company, most of my classmates, they will go to TSMC, the most biggest chip producer in the world.
Yes, it's very famous.
Yeah, and or someone will choose the same path like me. I'm now working in the semiconductor vendor. My customer is the TSMC. Do you know the vendor? I know Zhu Xing.
I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard it before.
Yeah. I work in the land research. Maybe you can search that. So the land research, we sell the tool for semiconductor manufacturer to TSMC. So I'm the customer service engineer. This is another way. So the mechanical engineering student will, if we want to service in the technology industry, most students will choose these two ways. Or if you are very good at the programming, you can try to go to the design house or the software company.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is also the same situation happening in Singapore now, because the wafer industry is very popular nowadays. Most of the students in engineering backgrounds, no matter is electronic engineering or mechanical engineering or chemical or even chemical engineering, companies like Micron or Global Foundries will hire many students before they graduate. Yeah, so I think this is what exactly happening in Singapore as well. So I think somehow it matches with your situation.
And if other one choose to the like the traditional mechanical industry, maybe they will go to like the CNC company, because Taiwan have the world number 3 CNC. We are the world number 3 CNC producer. Yeah, and or someone will go to like the robotic arm company, or maybe actually I'm not very familiar about the traditional mechanical industry. Sorry. Yeah.
Don't apologize. It's okay. It's just a knowledge sharing session.
Okay. And then do you know the interesting thing is IC design company in Taiwan we will call the pig shit company.
What? Pink shirt.
Pig shit company.
You can type it. I'm not sure which two words you are talking about.
Okay. Or a pictured house. Maybe in Taiwan.
I thought I was listening it wrongly, but yeah, that's why I want you to type it in the chat room. So actually, it's pig shit. So can you explain it why?
Why? Because the IC design company will call the design IC design house, right? I don't know why they use the house, but they call it design house, and the word design in the Taiwanese means pig shit. Oh no, one got it.
Yeah, a bit. I don't know what you say now.
Yeah, because you don't you can speak Taiwanese.
Oh.
Yeah, and we can go back about the Taiwanese career path, and the students study the electronic engineering. As I have said, they can choose the programming, semiconductor, physics, or design, or communication, or the electrical power system. So I think now in most of the students, maybe they will choose the programming, because the artificial intelligence in Taiwan is very it's on fire now. Yeah, I can say that because of the artificial engineering. Or if you want to make more money, they will choose the semiconductor physics. And if you choose the semiconductor physics, you will go to serve the semiconductor produce company like a TSMC. And if they choose the IC design, they will serve about the design house like the MediaTek, Realtek, or Phison, something like this. So like we can call the Taiwan IC design company like the MediaTek, Realtek, Phison, or Novatech. Yeah, they are the Taiwan company.
But for now, Singapore, a lot of persons want to doing the transfer to the software engineer, because in Singapore, actually, if you want to make more money, you choose to do the software engineer.
Actually, this is a very interesting thing,
Yes.
because in Taiwan, the first salary will more high in the ID design and the semiconductor manufacturer, not for the software. But I know the software engineer will get a more high salary in Singapore.
Yes, true. It's not a little high. It's very high.
Yeah, it's very high.
Yes.
Because some of my friends, they are the software, they graduate from the computer science, and they want to go to Singapore for work. They want to work in Singapore.
I see.
But actually in Taiwan, our hardware is too strong, and the software in Taiwan is not strong as the hardware.
Yeah, it's very, very different from Singapore. But now Singapore, the hiring market is not very good, because for now, because of the COVID-19, the more demand on the locals and PRs. If you are a foreigner, you want to apply a job here, the government may don't want to give you the work permit.
Oh.
They need to guarantee all the locals and PRs get a job first.
Okay. So I know it's very hard to find for foreigner it's very hard to find a job, but maybe it's different in Taiwan because in Taiwan we are very safe and the TSM is still build a new factory.
Yes. But
So
is it same like a lot of foreigners work in Taiwan?
I say no. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very
Because
I don't know why they want to choose Taiwan because Taiwan is not a very suitable for we didn't have a very suitable I want to say we didn't have a very suitable career environment for the foreigner.
Okay, I see. Because Singapore, they don't have they don't have enough locals to work, so they open their countries to like attract more foreigners here.
Yeah, because my advisor professor when in my master degree life, he always said Taiwan is not very good environment for the foreigner. I don't know why, but maybe the language problem is a very big problem because the Singapore is more familiar with the English.
Maybe this is one of the problem. Yeah, English is really it's more convenient for foreigners.
Yeah, and also I work for the American company now, and actually they are not I never say I never see the foreigner in company. I don't know why.
Singapore, you will work with people like us from China. You work people like you from Taiwan. You will work with people like some from Indian, some from Malaysian, some even someone from Europeans. Yeah.
But maybe it's the situation about the semiconductor manufacturer industry because about TSMC they very seldom to hire the foreigner.
Okay, I see.
Because they want to protect their secret.
Oh yeah. I understand your point.
Yeah.
Yes. There's some business secret.
Yeah, they have many business secret, not only some. I think this part is very interesting. How they protect their business secret.
And one more interesting, I found that for the engineer jobs in Singapore, it's most of the engineers are foreigners. I mean the locals they don't like engineer jobs. They more like the lawyers, marketing, communication, like
Manager?
more manager. Yes, they like that kind of job.
Oh yeah. So I don't know, but I think most of the software engineering, the software engineering career is very popular and strong in Singapore.
Yes, very popular. I will say very popular. And there's very big market for
Because
software engineering.
I know many Taiwanese go to the Singapore Shopee a few years ago. Yeah. And they still try to find the software engineer in Taiwan to Singapore, the Shopee.
Shopee, no.
Yeah, besides Shopee, we also have Tencent, 腾讯, and ByteDance, 字节跳动.
ByteDance.
Also have Grab. Grab 就是 Grab, 对. Also this kind of internet companies. What I can say is like they're building their internet and services So this kind of company usually requiring a lot of software engineers and yeah, to build the front end, back end, the full stack for them. Yes.
I don't know whether they are like have some revenue or not, but I know there's a lot of sponsors. They give such company a lot of money, but maybe for now they haven't earned any revenue yet.
Yeah. But I think your career, you and the Juji is very very special. Like you are a major, your career choose like a firmware engineer. But in Taiwan, in the school, it's not most of the students didn't like to write the firmware, because in the electronic some electronic student because when you learn the firmware, you need to know also the software and both the software and the hardware. So most of the Taiwanese students didn't like to write the firmware.
Firmware.
Yeah. So because you are working to you are your program is running on the Realtek chip, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the firmware engineer.
Yes.
Yeah. So the most of the student will choose like the pure software or pure hardware. That very not the firmware engineering is not popular.
Okay, I see. Actually, seem like Singapore. If you can do programming, you will most of them will choose software part.
Right.
Yes.
It's similar in Taiwan.
It's a money-driven market.
Oh, okay, money-driven market. Yeah. So, so is anyone want to ask other question? Or okay, I'm trying to hold this talking.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more like a talk show now.
Yeah, thanks, Shunjie. By the way, I think Maggie have mentioned that this is our 101st event for all the economies events. Yeah. So I think it has been a long journey for us since we started our economy Facebook group and economies event since the end of May. I think so. I'm not really sure, but I think it's around the time. So yeah. Welcome, new friend.
Welcome to new friend. If anyone want to do a brief self introduction. No. No. Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay. Or I can make the first, and maybe another one will try to make a brief introduction. So hello everyone, my name is Zhang Shunjie, and my major is mechanical engineering in the NCKU in Taiwan, and I have the master degree. And now I'm working and then research as a customer service engineer, and our company is manufacture the semiconductor produce equipment. So welcome everyone to join our first international event. Maybe I can say that. I can say that. So it's another one. Want to try to make a brief self-introduction to learning the English.
By the way, this is only a platform for us to share in English and practice our English skills. So just don't be afraid, and no one will judge you, and you can just speak out whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Shunji, I will do a brief introduction, self-introduction. So my name is Zhu Qi, and I'm currently working in Realtek Singapore as an embedded software engineer. I have only entered this department for 1 year, so there are still a lot of things for me to learn. Yeah, okay, that's all.
So maybe I can try to ask Hongqi. Are you here, Hongqi?
Yeah, I'm here. My English is so bad.
No, don't say so. You can say.
You can say you are the.
Nice to meet you. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, something like this.
And
my mother is teacher. Thank you.
Really? But I remember your mother.
No. Because my English book tell me how to say English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I can introduce Hongqi. Like Hongqi's major is the art and the design, right? 艺术跟设计是吗？
Yeah.
没误会。
Take art.
Take art and
or a new media art.
Yeah, new media art. And Hongqi is very famous in the combine the art and the technology in Taiwan. And he also hold some maker space in Taiwan.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So Hongqi has many experience in holding or building a maker space.
But recently, space is closed.
It's closing.
Maybe ready to close.
Ready to ready to close, and he will wait the next chance to hold a new space. OK，
要办一个新的工作室吗？
对啊
I don't know. If I find a cheap
and the communist space, Hongqi will rebuild a new space, make a space. So he needs someone to introduce in a cheap place. So Duqi.
Joe is asking in the chat room, does Hongqi have any brothers or sisters?
Hongqi有兄弟姐妹吗？这有点奇怪，问这个问题有点奇怪。
I have a little brother.
I have a little brother.
But yeah. my brother rich
is rich. Very rich.
Maybe.
Why maybe?
Because I'm very poor.
What is failure? But I believe now in the children, most of the people is rich because they most of them are engineer. And is another one want to make a I don't know. We thanks Hongqi and if other one want to try to practice your English. Okay.
No.
Because tonight is English night, and I think it's a good chance to practice English.
No, not today. Today is better day.
For what? It's better day for what? For a nice snack?
他是说 bad day 不是 better day， 他讲错话。
bad day.
Bad day, yeah, bad day.
Why the bad day?
Today is not good day.
Okay. So 好，哇，我编不下去了。
也是。
Maybe you can introduce about Taiwan.
The Taiwan.
Have never been to Taiwan. Maybe you introduce me Taiwan.
In Taiwan, yeah, I don't know how to introduce Taiwan, but maybe I can introduce the college. Maybe you can choose to study the master degree or PhD in Taiwan. And I graduated from the National Sengkong University.
How many years for the master degree?
I have the 2.5 years because I have some extent about my master thesis. All the master's program in Taiwan need to write the thesis and hold the oral defense, not like America.
Yeah, for Singapore, it's also like America. It's only 1 year here. You can choose to do the coursework or study work, research work. For coursework, there no need to write any papers. Only the research work you need to have a paper.
Actually, the master degree we didn't need to publish the paper. We will write the thesis.
I see.
Yeah, I see. And we didn't have the only course program. So yeah, every student need to write a thesis. And so I have some problem or accident about my thesis, or I studied 2.5 years, but most of the students in Taiwan will study 2 years.
Oh,
yeah.
Singapore is if you do full time, it's only 1 year. It's very fast.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But I think the role in or the research in Taiwan's master degree is very interesting because the role is like the advice professor will to apply the project, and if we pass the project application, we all have the money to pay the student's salary and to do the research, something like this. So actually, most of the student is more like work for the government.
Wow. Singapore, if you study master degree, very expensive. You need to pay the school.
We will also pay for school, but most of the student mainly the engineer student will get a little salary, like the 6,000 to 8,000 New Taiwan dollars per month.
How much would it cost if we want to study in Singapore for master degree?
Okay, for master degree, if you are foreigners, 1 year around 400,000 maybe. Zhu Qi, are you still here? I think Zhu Qi not here.
Yes, I'm here. I'm just searching some information online. Maybe I can share my screen.
Okay.
Because not only like you have to pay for your study, you also need to prepare for money for living, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
True.
Fees. So let me search some tuition fees for master study in Singapore for you.
There's lots of people said that studying in Taiwan for you is quite a lot cheaper.
Can everyone see my screen now?
Yes, can see.
Oh,
yeah.
Very
so
expensive.
Yes. So depending on whether you are a Singapore citizen or permanent residence, which is the green card holder mentioned by Yahui just now, and whether you are international students or foreigners. So if you are having an MOE subsidy, so this part is also mentioned by Yahui. MOE is Ministry of Education in Singapore. So you can consider it as a Singapore government. If you have help from Singapore government, then for the medicine or dentistry students, it's like to become a doctor who work in the hospital. So for the full-time tuition fee is around 14K Singapore dollars per semester. Yeah, sorry, per year. And for the green card holder is 20K. And for foreigners is 32K. And if you don't have any money, if you don't have any support from Singapore government, so which means that you are paying your own tuition fees, then for the citizens will be 64K. And for the permanent resistance or international students, they're having the same tuition fee, which is 66K. So you can see that the Singapore government really helps the students a lot by reducing their tuition fees. So this is for doctor. Becoming a doctor is a very expensive thing in Singapore. So maybe we can go to engineering. So here is engineering. So you can see that comparing with doctor, the engineering students' tuition fee is much more cheaper, but still expensive.
This is for the whole program or only for the 1 year?
For 1 year per year. So for the undergraduate, we have 4 years study, and for the master, we have 1 year study for full-time students.
Oh, so this is too much expensive than Taiwan. Maybe I can't remember, but maybe I only pay less than 20.
Is that cheaper than Europe and US?
This one?
Is that cheaper than US dollar? Is cheaper than United States?
I'm not sure about the tuition fees in the United States, but from my friends who study in UK or US, their tuition fees is much more expensive than in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think studying in US will be more expensive, but maybe I believe the Taiwan is too cheap. Yeah, but I think when we study the master degree in Taiwan, the student will more like work for the government.
Oh yes. So after the students, the international students graduate, they need to, if they have support from MOE, from the government, they need to pay back the money by working for 3 to 6 years, depending on how much help you received from the government.
Oh, well, I never listened or find a similar program in Taiwan. because maybe for the foreign student, Taiwanese will just give you money.
It's more like a scholarship, right?
Yeah, it's more like a scholarship in Taiwan.
Yeah, in Singapore, we also have scholarship. Yeah, besides the MOE subsidized, you also can apply for scholarship from different companies or from different school departments. Yeah. But more or less, you need to pay a lot of money.
But Taiwanese government more like they will pay the scholarship for all foreigner students. I don't know why.
Oh, sorry. What is MOE?
MOE is Ministry of Health, 教育部，就等于说是政府。Ministry of Education. Oh, sorry.我刚刚一直说错。Ministry of Education. 对，教育部。
Yeah. It's the same thing. The word is same in Taiwan, but MOE is another means in Japanese.
萌啊。
对啊。And
sharing my screen now.
So Taiwan is cheap, and yeah, in my master degree life, I make some government research program. And so we go back, and when I introduced Taiwan, so the National Secondary University is the location of National Secondary University is in Tainan, and so the most famous about this school, I will say we have the best food in Taiwan. Best food. Yeah. The college have the best food in Taiwan. Yeah, because
I
the food
want
in
to know
Thailand is
more
good.
about Taiwan food.
Taiwan food?
I think the street food. I think.
Street food?
Night market.
Night market?
Yes.
But I don't like the night market in Taiwan.
Really?
I like night market in Taiwan.
Because it's like they have a very commercialized problem. Like they sell the same similar food or product in every market, night market in Taiwan. Yeah.
It's for the tourist industry.
Yeah. So this is a commercialized problem.
Yeah, it's commercialized. Yes. So you can find the same food in all the night market in different areas.
Yeah,
it's
I think a big problem. But my experience is I will try to find the more local food in this city. So if you want to have a travel in China, I can introduce the real local food. They are good. And actually I have get the weight over 10 kilograms in China in 6 years.
Oh really?
Or yeah, I get over 10 kilograms.
Wow, I have never been to Taiwan before.
Yeah. So this is my college and master degree life, and now I'm working in Hsinchu, and the Hsinchu's food is very disgusting.
Really? But Realtek is in Hsinchu, right?
Yeah, my company is near the Realtek. And now Hsinchu we can call the Tainan is the city of sugar.
City of sugar.
Sugar because
that means
all the food
a lot
is
of
sweet.
Sugar. Yeah, is it?
Big food are also very sweet.
Yeah, because the food is sweet in Tainan.
Yeah. Someone say today is SG day. We must talk more about Singapore.
Oh yeah.
But Singapore, there's one Orchard Road. I don't know if you know.
But as I know,
Orchard Road is the road that follows department store.
Yes, very expensive.
Buy all the
luxuries. 3 and 4 Din Tai Fung in kind of every department stores.
There are many Din Tai Fung everywhere. Almost
I like Xiaolongbao
stations.
But for Singapore food, I think I remember Singapore government have a very special place, like a place that's like a food center. I don't know the name.
We call it a coffee shop or food court.
Yeah, food court. They will sell all the we can call the little restaurant there.
Yeah. Yes. So depending on the size, the smaller one we call it coffee shop, and the medium sized we call it food court, and the larger one maybe it has two levels. The upper level is selling the cooked food, and the lower level is selling the raw food and vegetables and fish and meat or other things. It's called market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are different hawker center. Okay. Also have hawker center. Yes.
Yeah, hawker center.
Okay, Shimo and Wei Ling, maybe you guys can open the mic and talk more about Singapore, right?
Wet market.
Yeah, I will. I'm talking about the hawker center.
Yeah, and most of Singaporeans they don't cook at home. They choose to eat outside.
Oh, maybe this part is mirror in Taiwan. I'm not sure, but yeah, now in Taiwan is more sale than it's for people in Taiwan is more sale than before to cook in home at home.
Yeah, because Singapore first thing Singapore very hot. Second thing, I don't know what is the system called. They will, because for the Chinese races, we will cook, we will fry the fried the vegetables or some fried chicken things, the smoke very big.
I know the Chinese when we cooking the Chinese dishes, we will
Yeah.
fry the oil smoke and the oil will stick on the wall or floor.
Yeah, so the system in Singapore is different. They don't put the smoke outside. They put the smoke inside the recycle. Yeah.
So it means Singapore is more the law about we can put the oil smoke to the outside.
They don't allow the light your smoke outside. They
Oh.
only recycle the smoke inside your house. So
Okay.
most of us we don't choose to cook at home. And first thing is very hot, really, really hot.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
so about this law, Singapore needs is very seldom to cook in the house. Maybe in Taiwan we didn't have this law, but maybe just for daily and the Taiwanese food is cheap.
Oh, yeah. If you eat at the hawker center or food court in Singapore, it's also cheap. It's around 4 to 5 Singapore dollars.
4 to 5, it means around 100 new Taiwan dollars.
Maybe you can have a good meal.
Good meal. It's a similar price in Taiwan. Yeah, I think it's a similar price, or depending on the location. Like in Thailand, maybe only 80 new Taiwan dollars, about 4 Singapore dollars. And maybe in Hsinchu, I will say I need to pay over 100 NT dollars per meal. I don't know why. Maybe the people in Hsinchu is more cheap. It's very rich.
Richmond.
But just now you mentioned it's the flavor it's not very delicious.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yeah, the food in Hsinchu is not very delicious, but they are very expensive. I don't know why. So if I earn enough money, maybe I want to open a good restaurant in Hsinchu.
Good idea. Good idea. I talking about the breakfast. I know Taiwan breakfast very good. In Singapore, I'm very headache. I don't know, every morning I wake up, I don't know what to eat.
Actually, yeah, the breakfast
breakfast in Taiwan, you need is a hot plate with some oil, and all the breakfast you can make with a hot plate, like fried egg, like a kind of sandwiches, or even
fried noodle.
Yeah, fried noodles.
Dumpling.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
All of that kind of breakfast will need only one hot plate.
Yeah. And the boss can remember everything. So normally we go to the breakfast shop. We only need to speak what we want, and we didn't need to write the ticket or write on menu.
Yeah. Singapore, the breakfast don't have many choice. So I prefer the Taiwan breakfast. If you want to open a store, maybe you can open a breakfast store in Singapore.
I don't know, but yeah, actually, I think the breakfast in Hsinchu is good because they are very similar in every position, every location in Taiwan. The breakfast shop, but not for the lunch and the dinner. Yeah, but yeah, but how about the lunch in the Singapore? When you in the company, is the company will have the kitchen, or company will hire a chef to cook for the employee?
Talking about this, In Singapore, every company, they don't have their own kitchen and they don't have they will never hire a chef. So for us, we must go outside and take away our own food back to company.
Oh.
It's very bad.
Because I know some company in Hsinchu, they have their kitchen and their shelf, so they can cook very good. Some company will cook very good food in the for their employee, but sadly, my company didn't have the lunch project.
For us,
but
yeah, same.
Same. So we need to try to order the lunchbox and the shovel.
And you don't have many choices if you want to change for your lunch, right? In Hsinchu,
yeah.
you don't have many choices. In Thailand, actually, it's more like you have 100 choices, and it's you have no idea. You have to take a lot of time to choose what to eat. Yeah,
but actually, in Hsinchu, I have many different choices about the lunchbox shop, but for me, they are the same thing. Just the food, you know.
Yeah, I work in Sunshine, and it's probably the same situation. We don't have a lot of choices.
Yeah, and actually, in Hsinchu, some rumors say the most delicious lunch in Hsinchu is about a company called the Tokyo Electronic TEL.
Oh, it sounds like a Japanese company.
Yeah.
Oh.
It produces kind of earphones and microphones.
No.
Is that company?
TEL is also the semiconductor equipment company, and they are from Japan, the Tokyo Electron Limited, and they have the best lunch in the Hsinchu.
and for one good thing for you can call the delivery, right? Food delivery.
Yeah.
Yes, but in Singapore, before COVID-19, we don't have very good delivery service. So we can only walk into the food court and eat there. Now the delivery better.
So Singapore didn't have the food delivery company before, because in Taiwan we have the Food Panda and the Uber Eats.
It's not so popular, but after the COVID, it has become very popular. And currently, we have Food Panda, we have Grab, and we have Deliveroo. We're not sure about Taiwan.
In Taiwan, we have the two major systems, the Uber Eats and the Food Panda.
Yeah, Grab is more like the same as Uber Eats. But Grab also has like more like a taxi, right?
But the delivery fee is higher in Taiwan. In Singapore, it's sometimes very high.
Very high.
I think it's not very high. Maybe most of in the 1 or 2 Singapore dollar for delivery.
Normally, it's at least $3.
At least $3. Yeah. But the basic salary in Singapore is more high than Taiwan, so I believe you have a more high delivery price. So let me check the trade run. Is another question.
How about the taxi fee? Because in Singapore, if you take taxi, also very expensive.
Oh, I seldom take the taxi, so I can't answer this question.
Do you drive?
No, I have a scooter. Most of Taiwanese will have a scooter.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, because in Hsinchu it's very difficult to drive to work. Yeah. We have we have the traffic jam in Hsinchu every morning.
Okay.
And I don't know, but almost every Taiwanese will have their own scooter.
That's good. In Singapore, they don't allow the scooters on the road. I see somewhere say there's a lot of strange rules in Singapore. Yes, you cannot bring durian on the MRT.
Okay.
Really, you cannot eat food on the MRT and the buses.
In Singapore or in Taiwan?
Singapore.
In Taiwan we also can eat in MRT.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh. And
just saying that jealous you guys can eat in the MRT because the rules in Singapore is very strict. If you eat in the MRT, you will be fined, and yeah, there are a lot of fining rules in Singapore. 罚款就是稍有不慎就会被罚款。Yeah.
Oh, like the chewing gum. You can eat the chewing gum.
Yeah, there's no chewing gum in Singapore. Yeah.
Yeah, and you cannot feed in the pigeons and some cats.
What? You can feed the cats in the street on the street?
If the cat is not yeah.
But Taiwanese didn't have this kind of the law, but Taiwanese also have some problem like we have I think we have too much street cat and dogs, and also I think it's too much too many scooters on the road in Taiwan because they cause the too much scooter cause traffic environment is very dangerous in Taiwan.
Oh, true. That is a dangerous problem. Yes.
Yeah, and actually, everyone said the Taiwan's traffic is very bad and very dangerous when you ride a scooter in Tainan. And compared to other location, I think, right, the traffic in Tainan is very dangerous.
Kaohsiung is more dangerous than Tainan.
Really?
Yes.
I never ride the scooter in Kaohsiung. I compare the Taipei, Hsinchu, and the Tainan.
Is safe place.
Safe place. Okay. And so when I live in Taipei, most of my traffic is based on the MRT and the bus. But we now in Taiwan we own the MRT system. Only 3 cities have the MRT system, like the Taipei, Taichung, and the Kaohsiung. So if a city didn't have the MRT system, they will use a scooter like a daily transfer. So but I think Singapore have the most location in Singapore have the MRT system, right?
Yes, the MRT system is almost covering everywhere in Singapore, and they are still building more MRTs.
Yeah. So I think this is better. I think a big city need their own MRT system. The Taiwan start to design an MRT system too late. Because now we didn't have too much empty position to put the MRT station.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have the early design.
From what I heard from the teachers in Singapore, they told us that actually this MRT system map was planned out like a few years ago. And what the government is doing is just gradually building up the MRTs. Yeah, something like this. So maybe I can share my screen and show you a MRT view. It's kind of messy actually. Yeah, from here you can see that there are a lot of lines around Singapore. Maybe I'll change another map.
Oh, it's messy, but
yeah, it's very messy. But you can tell from the color that we have mainly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, before the brown line, we have major 5 lines. So the green line is crossing the east and west. Yeah, and the red line is covering the north and south. The orange line is covering is a circle line covering the central part. And for purple line, I seldom take it. I only took it to a line on Chinatown to get some Chinese food. And the blue line and the brown line were all newly built. The blue line is a downtown line. Downtown line means that here is all the rich people in Singapore, where all the rich people in Singapore live. Yeah, so from 6th Avenue, from this MRT station until where, let me see, Newtown and Orchard. This area is a rich people's area. And for the brown line, I'm not sure what is it for. Yeah, okay. This is what I know about the MRT system in Singapore.
Okay, maybe I can share the Taipei MRT system.
Okay.
And, okay.
What does population of Singapore turn out?
Sorry?
The population.
How many people
population.
now live in Singapore?
How many of the population?
Yes.
I'll check.
I remember Singapore is not counted.
Around 5.7 million.
5.5 million.
2.7.
1.7.
570万。2019年。
Is anyone can see my screen?
Yes, can.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and this is the Taipei MRT system. And how can I introduce? We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 system or 8 line in Taipei MRT system.
Okay.
And I don't know how to introduce, but for this part is for people who want to go to the zoo. And this part is the center of Taipei, the Taipei railway station.
Okay.
And this part and this part is for the people who live in the New Taipei city, and they will use the MRT to travel to the Taipei city for walking every day.
Okay.
So this part is very important. And the blue one, the orange and the yellow is about the New Taipei city.
Yeah, it seems like Singapore, they have the different colors for each line.
Actually, in the beginning, the name of the line will use the start station and the end station to naming a line. Like the blue line, they use the Xinpu and the Nangang. So when I was a kid, the blue line is calling the 板南线.
Oh.
板桥跟南港.
But now they change the name.
Yeah, and now they change the name. So the change the name is when it happened in my when I studied in Tainan. so they changed the name. So when I go back to the Taipei, and I feel very strange about the MRT system.
Because good for travelers, for us.
Yeah, it is good for the foreigner.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very wild feeling because I just studied in Tainan maybe for 1 year, and when I go back to Taipei, I can feel very strange.
Oh, I see the Taipei 小巨蛋. Is there many concerts there?
They chose concert.
Yeah, they will have a concert.
Yeah.
And the rich people in Taipei will like in this position than
really the rich person. Oh.
Yeah, the rich person and or in the 大直 maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure because I'm not a rich person.
Maybe many years later, you will living there.
No. Maybe I will live in Hsinchu for working. And now we have the Taipei 101 here. And yeah, and the other position is not.
Actually, I have been to Taiwan before, and I aligned at Taipei Airport. After that, I have been to Jiufen. So, but I forgot how do I get from Taipei to Jiufen.
You need to get there maybe by train or bus. And most people will choose the train, maybe. I'm not very sure.
I don't think MRT is it.
No, we didn't have the MRT to Jiufen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
I know some people will travel with the scooters. They just travel around the island.
Motorbike.
Actually, in Taiwan, we can travel around this island by the scooter or the bicycle.
Oh, bicycle also can.
Yeah, actually, many people will book like a 1 week travel, 1 week plan to travel the whole Taiwan by bicycle. It's a very popular activity.
Oh, but in Singapore, if you want to travel like that, it's only 1 day, within 1 day.
1 day?
Okay. In Singapore, very small.
1 hour.
1 hour?
Maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Maybe 1 hour.
Okay.
Too small.
Yeah. And also the Taipei major have a plan that he have used the bicycle to travel from the North Taiwan to the South Taiwan in 24 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. Or maybe I can open the Google Map and do okay. Or maybe we can use the Google Map to introduce the Singapore.
Research.
Let me setting the Google Map. Yeah. I have many classmates from the Malaysia in my college life, but I never have the Singapore.
Singaporean.
Yeah, Singapore classmates.
Okay.
Okay, so my Google Map is in Chinese. So from here you can see that there's a line between, around the sea. So the upper part of the line is all Malaysia, and the lower part under this line is Singapore. So from the map, if you zoom out, you will see that actually Singapore is only a red dot on this map, and here is Taiwan. So you can see that the size of Taiwan is much more larger than Singapore. Yeah. Then if we go back to Singapore, so currently I'm living here, and the rich people are living here near the Bukit Timah mountain and Reservoir Park. So people are very rich who I mean, they like to live in the place that have better natural environment. And I think from this map we cannot tell the MRT lines, but I don't know what to introduce. Okay, from here you can see that this part is a zoo area. We have Singapore Zoo, we have night safari, and Jurong Bird Park will also move to here in next year or 2 years later, I'm not sure. And the upper part, which is very near to Malaysia, industrial area. So we have a lot of companies here. So for Micron is here. So previously I was working in this this part. Micron's semiconductor.
Micron's fab.
Okay. Micron's fab. You can see that the whole big building is a fab. Yeah. Maybe I can show you the picture. Yeah, actually they have more buildings behind, and it's actually very big. But nowadays, due to some confidential issue, the staff in Micron cannot open their phone camera because previously something very unhappy have happened. Some secret from this company have been copied out. Yeah.
It's also in TSMC.
Yes, that's why we cannot use our own electronic device in Micron. And besides Micron, here is Realtek. Where?
So, Singapore has a special area for this type of the technology company.
Not everyone, but only for Micron. So here is Realtek, but Realtek only have one. I mean, a few small offices in a business building. Yeah, unlike the Realtek in Taiwan.
Okay. I mean, it have the Singapore government design a special area for the technical company or not?
Again, your question again?
Have the Singapore government design or make a special area for the technical company?
Oh, you mean like the Silicon Valley?
Yeah, like the Silicon Valley, because in Taiwan we have the we call the Science Technology Park, maybe.
We also have Science Park. We have a few different Science Park. Also, you can see that here is Shopee Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you also have a Science Park for the company.
Yeah, actually, the Science Park is around the university in Singapore. Here is a National University. Where is it? NUS. Okay, here is National University of Singapore, and right next to NUS is Science Park. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a similar strategy.
Yes, it's a similar strategy. So the Science Park is very near to the university, and right next to the Science Park is some reservoir area, some park. You can see that people can have a work inside during the weekends. And then if we go down a little bit, this is a very famous tourist place. It's called Sentosa. Yeah.
Oh, Sentosa.
So in Sentosa, we have Universal Studio. Yeah, Singapore Universal Studio.
Is the Fish Lion here?
Pardon?
Fish Lion.
Fish Lion 是什么？
啊，什么？狮头鱼吗？
狮头鱼
哦，
那个叫 Malayan，叫
鱼尾狮。
石头鱼在雅慧，石头鱼在哪里？完全是在对吗 ？Never mind, I'll do a search.
Yeah.
Okay, here.
Okay.
This is 那个吐水的狮子，对。
Yeah, because anyone go to Singapore will have a photo with this building.
Yeah, this building, and right next to this building is a very famous hotel. It's called Marina Bay Sands. It's like a ship shape on the building. Yeah, it's like a big ship on the building. So Malayan is right opposite to this hotel.
Yeah, I believe this famous because this hotel had been in the movie about the movie of the Detective Conan.
Yeah, Detective Conan. The past, I think it was last year's 剧场版. How do you say 剧场版?
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah, last year's movie was about Singapore's.
But every building in the Detective Conan's movie will explosion.
Yeah, they explode
the top of this hotel.
And you can see that the price in this hotel is very expensive. It's around 500 Singapore dollars per night. Yeah. Maybe the average price is around 410. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
in the children, Paul said foreigner can go to the casino for free, but Singaporean need to pay. Is right?
Yes, because the government don't want more Singaporeans to go into the casino and lose money inside, so that they have an entrance fee for the Singaporeans.
Okay. So have you ever go to the casino?
Yes, just take a look.
Oh, just take a look.
You can have free drinks in the casino.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I want to go to a casino to try how to try to play the blackjack, because someone said blackjack you can use the math to calculation the cards, calculate the card for win.
And behind the hotel, the Marina Bay Sands, there is a park, and in this park we have some very beautiful designed architectures inside. It's called a what? It's called Skyway. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, that's all for what I want to share with you.
Free drink is a good reason. This is famous free drink. So if you travel in Singapore and you didn't want to buy the drink in the convenience store, you can go to the casino.
It's a trick.
Okay. It's a good information.
Maybe next time, if you guys want to visit Singapore, you can contact us. We can show you guys around and get some free drink as well.
Okay. So it's another one. Have the question in Singapore, or maybe I think we can stop here tonight. Oh.
What do you think Singapore government?
What is
nice. Yeah, strict. It's
good government.
Good government. What? Yes.
You have to say good government.
Yeah, what do you think of Singapore government?
I think it's good for students like us. They can pay most of the school fee for us, and we don't need to pay the money back.
Okay.
Right.
So we can say the Singapore government is very familiar for the foreigner.
Yeah, they are more open for foreigners.
Yes. Like a company.
You know,
okay.
You mean the government run this country like a company?
Shall we stop the live streaming now?
Yeah, okay. This country. Okay, it's a good question.
It's a good question. Interesting.
So Is anyone here have the other question?
No question.
Or no question. Okay, because I think most of the people here have need to go to work tomorrow, so maybe we can stop here.
Sure. Thanks for hosting for the whole event, Shunjie. And thanks for the sharing from Yahui as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yahui and Zhuqi.
So thank you, Yahui and Zhuqi, to join the community event tonight. And I believe we can be more international community in the future.
Thank you.
So thanks everyone to attend tonight's event. I hope everyone will have a good
I
good
also
night.
hope everyone will have a good night. And yeah, thanks for coming and joining the whole event with us.
Okay. So so bye.
I'll stop the recording now and I will end the meeting.